Hi you guys. This video is going to walk you through how you complete checkpoint 3. Rather than completing checkpoint 3 in the platform, we're going to be using Schoology and using Kami in Schoology to complete your checkpoint 3 information. So the first thing that you need to do is to follow the steps on this slide to open your project, set your goal, and then to open your checkpoint 2 document where you did your research, and to have Schoology open in a different tab. So pause the video so that you can set your goal, open checkpoint 2, and open Schoology. Once you have those pieces open, in Schoology, you are going to open the activity, checkpoint 3, claim, subclaims, and counterclaim assignment. You can do that by clicking in the upcoming section on our Schoology course that's on the right hand side, and under that upcoming calendar you should see the activity here since it is an assignment that is due this week. If you don't see the assignment there or are unable to click on it from there, then in our Schoology classroom you can scroll down to the projects folder, to the Dear Editor folder, and then you'll look for that same activity that is the last link in the Dear Editor folder. Once you open that activity, you're going to click Open Assignment with Kami, and you'll use tools in Kami to complete the assignment. If your Kami is not working, then you need to stop the video right now and send me an email so that I can send you the document in a different resource so that you can complete it. So go ahead and pause the video while you open up the assignment in Schoology and open it using Kami. Once you have the assignment open in Kami, we're going to use the text box tool in Kami in order to complete the document. We're going to complete the graphic organizer here in Kami, and once you're finished with the graphic organizer, once we are done with checkpoint 3 and checkpoint 4, you'll click the Turn In button in the top right corner of Kami to submit this document. I will use your Kami document to give you comments on feedback of what you need to change, but I will also change your feedback color in the platform according to your feedback. So the first thing that you're going to do is you need to choose a side for your argument. So in your checkpoint 2, you're going to click over to your checkpoint 2 tab, and you're going to read the research question that you highlighted in blue at the top. And you're going to decide your position on this issue. So if you choose the side where you think that that should happen, then you are on the pro side of that argument. If you believe that that should not happen, then you are on the con side of the argument. So read your question and decide for yourself, what side are you on? What argument are you going to try to make? Pro, yes, or con on the no side. Then you're going to scroll down to your evidence that you have in the chart at the bottom, and you're going to read over the evidence that supports your side. So if you chose pro, you're going to look at all your evidence that supports the pro side. If you're choosing con, you want to look at all of your evidence that you collected for the con side. And most people naturally collected evidence for the side that they kind of were already leaning toward or they were already on. But if you chose pro and most of your evidence is on the con side, then you might think about either going back to do research so that you find more pro research, or just deciding for the sake of this argument and the sake of this assignment to argue the con side, even though that might not be your position in real life. Once you have decided your side that you're on, you've chosen your argument, pro or con. Now we're going to look at all of the evidence that you collected. So in this chart, this is a chart from a year, a student last year, and the chart that they completed. And what we want to do is we want to find connections between the pieces of evidence that you found. And as we identify these connections, those connections are going to help us identify our subclaims. So as you go through your evidence, you're going to highlight any pieces that are connected so that they're in the same color. You're kind of color coding your evidence. So as you can see in this chart, this student highlighted pink information. So all of these pieces that are highlighted in pink, the student identified that all of that evidence had the common connection of people being innocent. So she's on the pro get rid of the death penalty side. She thinks, yes, we need to get rid of it. And so she noticed each of these pink pieces were all about people being innocent. So she highlighted those all in pink. Then, as she kept looking at her evidence, she noticed that there were two pieces that both talked about how the death penalty is inhumane. So here she said that it's barbaric and it has no place in society. And here she talks about how that this person would have pled guilty in return for a sentence of life instead of execution. And the fact that families don't want to see these people die. So here she highlighted both of these pieces and she identified that connection. Death penalty is inhumane. So her last piece of evidence that she had was on the con side of the argument. And since it was only one piece of evidence, it wasn't connected to any other piece. It's the only piece that she has highlighted in yellow, just because she didn't have any evidence left. But you might end up with two pieces that are pink, two pieces that are blue, two pieces that are yellow. Okay? Or you might just end up with two colors of highlighting if you can only find two ways that your information is connected. So you're going to pause the video right now and you're going to highlight your evidence to color code and highlight anything that has a connection, highlight in the same color. Now that you have highlighted and you have color coded, which if you haven't, if you just kept the video playing and did not pause to do that, pause right now, color code your evidence. But once you have color coded your evidence, now we're ready to think about how these ideas are going to become your subclaims. So for some people, the highlighting that you did, some people were able to find two connections for their position. So just like on the previous slide, she was on the pro side of the argument, and she found two ways that her evidence supported that pro side. She had the pink and the blue. However, some people might have only found one connection. Maybe you had three pieces of evidence that supported your argument, but they were all about the same idea, and then your other three pieces were all on your counterclaim side. That's fine. So if you were only able to find one reason that supported your position, that's okay. Later, whenever you write your counterclaim sentence, then your rebuttal is going to become your second subclaim. So we will talk more about that later. So here's where you're going to put these pieces together in Kami. In Kami, the top blue rectangle of our graphic organizer, that top rectangle is our introduction paragraph. And that's where we are going to write our claim sentence today. So you're going to start your claim sentence by stating your position. So looking back at your question that you had in checkpoint 2, stating your position to that question, and then adding your two reasons, your subclaims. In Kami, you're going to highlight your main claim in purple and then your subclaim in yellow. So an example of that is going to look like this. If my research question was this question here, should young athletes focus on one sport year-round? My claim sentence is going to state my main claim. So I'm going to give my position on that question, and then I'm going to list my two subclaims because of this reason and this reason. All right, so in Kami, what that is going to look like is it's going to look like this. First off, you are going to click the text box tool over here on the side. So whenever I click on text box, you can change the size if needed. But in the blue box, you'll click, and so you are going to type in your main claim. Oops, this doesn't need to be there. So you're going to type in your main claim. What is your position on your argument? Because of subclaim 1 and subclaim 2. Okay, so pause the video and type in your claim sentence into your CAMI document. The next thing that you're going to do in CAMI is you are going to highlight the pieces. We're going to color code our pieces of our argument. So our main claim, you're going to select your main claim, and then here in the toolbar, this A with the shading over it is where you will highlight. We're going to highlight this in purple. And then each subclaim we're also going to highlight. We're going to highlight our subclaims, each one in yellow. Okay, so your sentence should be color coded just like this. So pause the video and color code your claim. After you have highlighted your claim, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to create your topic sentences. So in order to create a topic sentence, or the purpose of a topic sentence is to introduce the topic of that paragraph. Each of our body paragraphs that we have here in our CAMI graphic organizer, our body paragraphs are going to support our subclaims. Okay, so our topic sentence is going to introduce our subclaim. It's going to be the main idea of that sentence and introduce that topic. So think to yourself, how can I introduce this subclaim? You wouldn't just randomly jump into the middle of a conversation. You would start that conversation by introducing your topic. So your topic sentence does the same thing. Think to yourself, how can I introduce this idea? For example, my subclaim earlier from my claim was that playing year-round sports, it could limit their exposure to different sports. So I'm going to take that idea, and my little arrow shows I'm turning that idea, that subclaim, into my topic sentence. So my topic sentence says, playing one sport year-round might keep young athletes from exploring different sports options and interests. Right? There's the connection. Preventing them from becoming more well-rounded athletes. Okay? So pause for a second, and you're going to type your topic sentence into your CAMI document. So again, you'll click on the text box to the side, click into this first pink box, and that's where you will have your topic sentence introducing subclaim 1. You can resize your topic sentence as needed so that it fits into your box. Now, after you have written your first subclaim, you're doing the same thing in your second box. So your reason 2, you're going to write your second topic sentence for your second body paragraph. How would you introduce this idea? How would you introduce this topic that you're going to talk about for subclaim 2? If you were someone who did not have a reason to, then in this box, speaking of, I forgot to say this a minute ago. If you didn't have a subclaim 2, then you can literally just type and subclaim 2 in your claim sentence. That way, that will be like a placeholder so that you know, hey, I need to come back and put my second subclaim. So you'll do the same thing for your topic sentence. If you didn't have a subclaim 2, then we're going to insert a placeholder here so that you remember what is supposed to be in this circle. So you'll have a topic sentence introducing subclaim 2. So again, if you did not have a subclaim 2 yet, you're just going to type this sentence into your second circle. That way you know later you need to come back and add that in. Okay, so go ahead and pause and type in CAMI your subclaim 2